men's épée fencer, New York Athletic Club representative, and North Shore fencing coach, Alex Tsinis. Alex, you're extremely active on the domestic and international World Cup circuit. While the U.S. tends to struggle in keeping guys active on the épée side for so long, you are one of those guys that continues to charge forward. Where does your drive and motivation come from?
Well, the most important thing here is from our club, the New York Athletic Club. The New York Athletic Club is one of the few clubs in the country that supports athletes like myself that are over that college age group that want to continue fencing. Fencing, as everybody knows, is not a cheap sport. It's not affordable, and going to competitions is expensive. So New York Athletic Club is one of those few clubs that will support an athlete to go out there and risk their time, efforts, and they will financially back them as well. And that's part of it. That's a huge part of you wanting to go out there. There's a lot of World Cups, 8 World Cups, including other things. And if you're not in the top 4, obviously you're not getting paid to go. So you need that backing. As you probably know, it's very difficult to fence in the United States after leaving college. You got to work, you got to fence, you got to train, you got to do all these things, you got to have social life. How do you do all of that and compete with some of the athletes in the world that fence 6 days a week, twice a day? How do you compete? It's very difficult. So something has to give. Maybe some people put off their career, some people put off their social life just to do that. And the Athletic Club has been very instrumental in helping me achieve that goal. And the other thing is, just like you said, we don't have that depth in the United States, which would allow for somebody like me to be kind of pushed out. Maybe that's happening now, but it's something that in other countries maybe happens very quickly. You reach a certain age, you can't fence 6 days a week, goodbye. It happens very easily in the Korean teams, as opposed to other teams that are very, not a little shallow, not as deep. Some people hang around forever. Like guys in Hungary, they've got the same team for like 20 years now. So that's also part of my motivation. Like I'm very close. Several years in a row, I was 5th. So I'm always thinking, well, just a little more, maybe next year. So this year I was 5th. Didn't make the Pan Am game, the zonals, but it was close. I did well. The last World Cup made the 2nd day, and for us, men's épée, that's a big deal. Our other weapons are very strong. Guys are in the top 8 in the world. Men's foil, women's foil, men's saber. We got, Daryl. We got all these other weapons have these superstars. But men's épée, for us to make 2nd day, to make 32s, that's a big deal. And again, men's épée is the biggest weapon out there. The age range of guys like Imre or Trevejo, guys who are like 45, 46-year-old, down to like 21. You're not going to see that in any other weapon.
Very unique to épée, indeed, especially on the top end of that. Really only in épée do you see that kind of, north of 40. With you training, continuing to push forward, always being right on the heels of that national team spot. What can we expect going forward with Rio now approaching, those spots solidified? What does 2020 mean to you in Tokyo, and how does that kind of influence your decision to keep training?
Well, it all goes back to that club. If the club will support me, I will fence. I will continue fencing. If there are guys who are coming up from the club that are stronger than me, then I will have to, give them spots. And I think that's very normal and very logical. Guys that are coming up, if they're good enough, you give it to them. But if you just leave, where are they going to get that experience?
And with that 5 spot and being so close year after year, for motivation, intrinsic motivation, how are you continuing to remain positive self-talk, to stay in there, stay persistent, and keep fighting for that 4, 3, 2, 1 spot?
Well, I like to discover every single new year something new about my own fencing. I take time to create a new action, and I think that's very important for any fencer to grow. And most of the time, you grow from your coach. Your coach gives you lessons, they give you ideas, but at some point, you already know what kind of a person you are, and you should be able to grow on your own. And I think that's very important. my age anyway. I think at any age, like after college, where you kind of, the coach can no longer teach you something new, you have to start developing by yourself as a fencer. And that's something that I've been working on. I've been working with my teammate, Adam Watson. We've been together and we did some clinics about how to fence épée, how to fence without a coach. Because many people don't have the luxury of having a coach. People have, well, I reach a dead end, and that's something that always happens in épée. I reach the dead end. How do I go beyond that? How do I look at fencing, épée fencing from a different perspective and find something new that I will use? As you probably know, fencers will get used to it. They will change. And if you don't have anything to change to, then you will lose. And maybe that change will happen in 2 years, or maybe some change will happen in 5 years. But even the best fencers like Kolokov, eventually people get used to what they do, and they have to find something new, or they quit. That's what happens.
And for you, how are you personally, as an athlete, trying to achieve that high level of success without a coach, and in rediscovering or discovering new things about your fencing?
Well, I mean, obviously I work with a coach, but I don't work as much as I used to, or some of the other guys. But every single practice, I actually try to practice. I don't fence the bouts to win, but I try to think about what is this thing that I need. What is something that I will have to use against very strong fencers? Because when I go to World Cups, these guys have seen it all, and they've been around for many, many years. Some of them have been around for 20 years, even longer. Trevejo won silver medal in 96 games when I just started fencing, and then he won the European Games last year, and I've never achieved a result. But here's a person who's been around forever. I got to fence him when we were in Paris, and it was a big honor for me. This is a professional fencer, and fencing people like that makes you definitely see that you have weaknesses, and then you work on those weaknesses. If you never fence with people that good, then you think you're in your own little world, thinking, well, maybe everything's fine, everything's good.